Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Little Shop of Nerds. I'm Julia.
Mike, what's up?
And this week, this week we're going to be talking about a favorite game series of mine. Well, just a couple of entries in the game series. So last week's hint was Chosen One. Now I know what you're thinking. No, it's not from Kung Pao. It is actually from a game called Tales of Symphonia.
Yep. And that's right, guys. We're going to be talking about video games today. Yeah, I know we've been on a movie kick lately, so right now we're going to try to veer off like we were doing earlier, talking about games and anime and whatnot. So let's get to it.
Yeah, so Mike has never played Tales of Symphonia.
So I'll let her have it.
But I have literally played this game probably nearly 100 times because I played it so much on my GameCube when it was released in the GameCube. And then I have it on Steam, I have it on Switch, I have it on my PS3, and I plan on getting it for my PS5. So when I say that I love this game, I mean I really love this game. It's my favorite. It's the first game that got me into the Tales of series. And it holds a special place in my heart because of how special it is to me. This game just has so much, it focuses on so much, and the main theme is racism because, you have humans and you have elves who live together. And sometimes those elves, get together with humans, and then they have half-elves. And half-elves are actually discriminated in this world. So it starts off with these three students, Lloyd, Genus, and Colette. And Colette is waiting for this oracle because she is the chosen one, or the chosen of mana. And in this world, they have a thing called the Church of Martel. And Colette is what they call the chosen of mana, chosen of regeneration, and she has to go on a journey of regeneration to save the world from these half-elves called Desians. And Desians have kidnapped humans and are putting them in these things called human ranches, and you don't know what's happening to them in those human ranches until much later. So there was an oracle, and their teacher Rain decided that she was going to go check it out. So she leaves all the students by themselves in the school so she can go to the church and check this out. She's not supposed to do that, but she went anyways. And then you have two options on whether you could go to the church or you could just wait until the priests come to get Colette. I always choose to go to the church. You fight Boda, or not Boda. You meet Boda, which he is part of what they say. They say the Desians. We'll get into that later. And then you meet Kratos, which is a mercenary. So right here at this point you have your party of Lloyd, Colette, Genus, and Kratos. And you get through the temple. You meet Remiel, who is the angel who comes down and gives Colette her angel powers. So, some things happen. The city of Asalia burns down. They have to, on a journey of regeneration to, get rid of the Desians. So, Lloyd and Genus actually get banished from Asalia. So then they have to go join, Colette and Kratos and Rain. So they meet up with Colette and Triette after Lloyd gets kidnapped by what they call the Renegades. So then that's when you learn about Boda. So Boda, as I had said earlier, was at the temple. Turns out he's part of the Renegades, and they are half-elves who are fighting against the Desians. So they're also trying to kill the Chosen of Regeneration. Everybody's trying to kill the Chosen in this game. So they, go off. Lloyd gets saved. They go to Triet. Colette gets more angel powers. And then as you go through the game and she completes each seal, she gains more powers. So, for example, when she went to... So the first temple where you start off, she got the Crucius Crystal, I do believe. And then the next seal, she got Angel Wings. And then she got... Oh gosh, she stopped being able to get hungry at one point. I think that was also at the Triet ruins. So she stopped eating because she just couldn't taste anything. And then she lost the ability to feel anything. That was at the other... No. I was wrong. The stopped eating was at the water temple. The feeling anything was at the wind temple. And then at the Tower of Mana, she stopped talking. So she couldn't talk, she couldn't eat, she couldn't sleep, she couldn't feel pain anymore. And it was just, her whole life was basically just falling apart. And you find out from Lloyd, because there's a scene where she tripped and she fell, and she was bleeding like crazy, and Lloyd squeezed her hand and she didn't even flinch. So this is actually a pretty famous scene from the series. It's where he's holding a couple of mugs of coffee and he hands it to her and she takes it and he goes, "It's hot, isn't it?" And she goes, "Yeah, real hot." And he goes, "It's actually cold coffee." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, of course it's cold." And then he goes, "I actually lied. It's hot." And then she drops it because she knew that she got caught in whatever charade that she was putting in. And then she revealed to Lloyd what was going on. So eventually they get through. You do find out that the human ranches are used to make Crucius crystals, or not Crucius crystals. Yeah, I think they're Crucius crystals. X-spheres, that's what it was. X-spheres. And they realize that when the humans died, well, the Crucius crystals, the X-spheres, feeds off of their life force. So eventually they will die if they keep these X-spheres attached to them. And you cannot remove these X-spheres because it will turn them into monsters. So in order to remove them safely, you have to have some sort of a core or something on them to keep, so you can, and even like just a bracelet. Like you could put the X-sphere directly onto your skin and then have a bracelet, and that would work. And they found out Genus's Crucius crystal, or his X-sphere, actually came from this little old lady named Marble that they met in Esalia at the Esalia Human Ranch. And then you do meet her granddaughter, who is really upset that Lloyd and Genus pretty much killed her. They didn't do it on purpose. It was, life or death situation. So anyways, they get through everything. They get to the Tower of Salvation. They find out that Remiel really is not Colette's father, which is what he had been saying from the very beginning. And then you find out that the Chosen of Mana has to die in order to regenerate the world, which is basically Colette losing everything that makes her Colette, and then she just becomes a vessel for Martel. Then you do go to Tetheala, and then you meet... then you find out that Kratos is a traitor, and he works for Crucius, and so he leaves after decimating your party. You get saved by the renegades. Then you go to this country called Tetheala, which is basically the exact same thing as Sylvarant, which is where you start. And but they're much better off because they have been prospering. All the mana from Sylvarant has been going to Tetheala, so then Tetheala has been flourishing. So there you meet Persea. She later joins your party. She is a young girl who is completely, has no, feelings, she's basically like a version of Colette, except for she can talk. But she's very emotionless and everything like that. Then you meet Zelos, who is, and let me tell you, I love Zelos. I absolutely adore him. He is the Chosen of Tetheala. So he is literally right under the royal family. That is how much power that the Chosen has in Tetheala. And then later you meet Regal. Regal tries to kill y'all. I also forgot to mention about Sheena. And I don't know how I forgot about Sheena, because Sheena is my favorite character. Sheena is, you meet her in in Sylvarant when she tries to kill the Chosen. Like I said, everybody tries to kill Colette. And then she learns about the group, realizes that they're all good people, but she didn't want Tetheala to, because she is originally from Tetheala, and she didn't want Tetheala to, be destroyed either. So then that's your 8 party members. So you have Lloyd, Colette, Genis, Rain, Zelos, Sheena, Regal, and Persea. Regal and Persea actually they're connected in some way, in the fact that Regal was in love with Persea's sister Alicia. Sheena and Zelos actually have a history as well, because Sheena is a ninja, and she lives in the city, or in the little Japanese-inspired town of Mizuho. And that's, he knows of Sheena because Sheena always would come to Mel Tokyo. So he knows her that way. So they all travel together. You find out that you can release the seals, and you can, split Tetheala and Sylvarant from each other. There's a lot to get through with this game, because when this game came out on the GameCube, it was 2 discs. That there is I think I've spent the most I've spent is 86 hours in this game. Because there's so much to do. So anyways, we'll just kind of skip closer to the end. So you try to germinate the great seed for the tree to split them up, and you just manage to destroy almost everything. You one of the cities, Palmacosta, gets entirely decimated, so after that you can't go back to that town. Once you destroy it, you destroy it. And, which I recommend doing as much as you can in that town, because there is quite a few things to do in that city. So once it's destroyed, you manage to, or the giant tree, you germinated it, and then then you have to destroy it. And then you find out further on that Kratos is actually Lloyd's father, which you didn't see that coming because Lloyd doesn't know his parents, because Lloyd was raised by a dwarf on the outskirts of Asalia, because Dirk found him in Noish, which is his little dog thing. He found them with Anna, which is Lloyd's mother. You find them together, or he finds them together. Anna's dying. Anna does die, and he ends up raising Lloyd, and then you find out that Kratos is his father, which Lloyd has a big existential crisis on that, because, he's like, you've helped us, but you've also tried to kill us, so I don't understand what's going on. So then eventually you do, end up beating the game. The main villain his name is Yggdrasil. Mythos Yggdrasil. Oh yeah, you also find out that Kratos and Ewan is part of the Renegades. He's the leader of the Renegades. And Mythos and Martel were all heroes from 4,000 years in the future. Or not in the future, but in the past or something like that. It was like 4,000 years or something. And Martel had died, and they were trying to find a vessel to bring her back. And so Yggdrasil is basically like your main villain. And you eventually defeat him, and then, you get like this cute little post-game scene where people are talking about what they're going to do now that the world was saved. And they managed to merge Tetheala and Silverant together into one world again, which is what they were originally. So you get them back together, or you merge the two worlds together. That's basically, so you get, like I said, you get this cute ending scene, where you can go around you'll see what each person is planning on doing now that the world is at peace. So that is basically how Tales of Symphonia, ends. Now, I'm going to touch briefly on Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World. I absolutely despised this game. I did not like it. The mechanics made it feel more like, with you having to get monsters, it almost seemed like it was like, a Pokemon game instead of like an RPG. And I did not like the main characters, Emil and Marta. I'm sorry if any of you are fans out there of this game. I didn't like them. And Marta came on too strong. And Emil was a whiny little bitch. Okay? There. I said it. He was. He whined about everything. In the first dungeon alone, after you meet Richter, before you find out, before you meet Ratatosk, you find out that Emil, you literally walk 2 steps, then you have a cutscene to Emil just whining, and then you do something, you walk a couple more steps, you have another scene where Emil is whining about something. Like, he literally did nothing but whine this whole entire game. And I'm probably not even going to spend any time talking on it, because it sucked, okay? There was nothing, you really didn't, it didn't feel like a Tales of game to me. Considering how much I absolutely adored Symphonia, Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World just was not a game that I really liked, and it really disappointed me because I was so excited for it. It was originally, when it was released in Japan, it was originally called Tales of Symphonia, The Night of Ratatosk. So then it changed to Dawn of the New World when it was localized and brought over here. It is for the Wii. If you do have a PS3, you could probably pick up Tales of Symphonia Chronicles if you want to play Dawn of the New World, because it is on the Chronicles, have both games on it. And that game, like, I was really disappointed. And you in this game, what I did like though was that you could have two different endings. There was an ending where Emil or Ratatosk used themselves to seal up to keep the demons from coming in. Or Richter decides that he will stay behind. So in order for you to get the ending where Emil stays behind, you have to defeat Marta and Lloyd. And basically what happens is you're fighting against, as Emil, you're fighting against Marta and Lloyd. And it really wasn't that hard to beat them. I did this in my second playthrough, and I had Emil and Marta maxed out to 200, and Lloyd was like level 50. And if you get the bad ending, you are not allowed to keep that ending. You have to go back to your last save file or your last save spot, and you have to get the good ending, which actually kind of sucks because I really liked the bad ending. But the good ending, you have to let Lloyd and Marta defeat you. Then Richter stays behind. And then there's this cute little scene between Marta and Emil. And then that's how the game ends. And I really did not like it. That's why I'm not even going to spend time talking about it, because I hated it so much. If you guys want to know more in depth, there are other reviews here on YouTube that can tell you more about it. I'm just not going to spend time talking about it because I absolutely, like I said, I hated it. But other than that game that shall not be named, Symphonia is definitely my number one favorite Tales game. I have played Abyss, I've played Zestiria, I've played Berseria, I've played some of Fantasia, I've played Grace's F, I've played some Hearts, I've played Arise, I've played a lot of them. And I mean, we may talk about those later on. Mike has even played Arise. A little bit of Arise. He hasn't beaten it yet, so maybe once he beats it, we can talk about it. Yeah, he's still here, people. He's just listening to me talk. So, I'm actually going to leave it there. Like I said, it has been released on Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch as of last year. So they did a remaster, so it is available for you guys to pick up for any of those consoles if you would like to. You can get it through Bandai Namco. Oh. And that's actually it.
Sweet.
So, do you want to tell everybody next week's hint, or do you want me to do it?
I'll do it.
Okay, do you know what it is?
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Yep, there we go. So, we will remember, like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you like Tales of Symphonia. Or what your favorite Tales of game is. Remember, once we get up to 100 subscribers, we'll show our faces and we'll cosplay for y'all.
Yep.
Okay, well, you guys have a good day. Bye.
See ya.